Okay. So share screen and Safari, Exodus. Okay, that's there, right? Good.
Mhm.
Okay, so there's 4 people reading. I'm going to try really hard to remember to alternate properly, but if I mess up, someone just yell. Okay. So we'll start with Amy and read, I think it's verse 1 from here. Let me move. I'm taking the pictures away. I just can't do it. Okay. Why are they telling us the verse numbers? I guess because it's 1. Oh, there's the 1. Okay,
There's
go
the
ahead.
one.
Amy.
Yeah.
Bayar.
What the olive, what does that sound make?
No.
At the
The
end.
olive has no sound. Yeah.
Va'ar,
Vayar. Don't forget the yud. Yeah.
Vayar,
Good.
Ha'am, Ki, Boshesh,
Yep.
Moshe, Laredet, Min, Har, Vayikahel, Vayikahel,
Yeah.
Ha'am al Aharon, Vayimru,
Vayomru.
Vayomru, Laev,
A lav.
what
A lav.
Lav,
Uh-huh.
Kum, Ashe, Asho. No, Aseh. Oh my God, I'm not having. I'm having a hard day. Aseh,
Good.
Lanu, Elohim, Asher, Yelku,
Right.
Lifanenu,
Lefanenu. Yep.
Lifanenu, Ki Ze Moshe Ha Ish Asher Elanu Me'eretz Mitzrayim Lo Yadanu Me Haya Lo.
Good. That was great. So when the people saw that Moses was so long and coming down, and I looked this up because I didn't think it meant delay. This voshesh means more like it was delayed. Moses delayed coming down from the mountain, mean hahar. We've had har lots of times. The people gathered against Aaron and said to him, "Come, make us a god who shall go before us. For that fellow Moses," I think this is funny. "For that fellow Moses, the man who brought us from the land of Egypt." I mean, that to most of them, he was just this guy who came out of nowhere and led them out of Egypt. Doesn't that sound funny to you? That fellow
Yes.
Moses, the man who brought us out of Egypt. We do not know what has happened to him. Okay. So so far I'm pretty sympathetic with these people. I've been reading a lot about this morning. I'm kind of on the side of try to put yourselves in their place and pretend you don't know everything that happened afterwards,
Yeah, but they followed him out of Egypt, and they refer to him that fellow.
Isn't that interesting? I wonder what the Haish, Moshe Haish, the man. I don't know why they say that fellow.
I think it's the
I'm
translator that is doing a poor job.
because That's a funny.
It
isn't
sounds
that a
like
funny
a
way of
put
saying it?
down though. It
Why
does,
don't they just say the man? Why do they say that fellow?
I think
That's
it
interesting.
sounds like a little bit like a put down.
I know. So in the Orthodox one, they just say, for this man Moses who brought us up from the land of Egypt. I mean, that's a little bit, it's not like that fellow Moses, for this man. I don't know. All it says is Haish, the man. So I don't know why they feel they have to put.
It's
How
irreverent,
long,
but
Call her back and
I'm sorry,
how
what?
long, how long had Moses been up on the mountain, and how much into the 40 years were they following him?
Right. I can't remember. I think it's a couple of months. Wait a minute.
I thought-
Why don't we look it up after so that we
Yeah.
get some reading
Okay.
in? But
I thought it was 40 days, but I could be
was it
mistaken.
40 days? Yeah, it was. Yeah,
mean-
40 days. When he said he would be there for 40 days,
Mm,
the people thought that the day of his ascent counted as the first day of the 40, and therefore Moses would be back on the 16th of Tammuz. That was a mistake. Moses meant that he would be away for a full 40 days and 40 nights, which meant that he'd be back on the 17th. When noon on the 16th came and went without Moses' return, the people became fearful. You're really going to tell me that they did this on the literally on the 40th? It's so interesting. But that they really were sitting there
You
counting.
know what, Barbara? They expected him and he didn't show up.
Exactly.
They had a lot of anxiety over whether he'd come back at all,
Right.
so.
I think that, yeah, anyway, I'm sure there's much more commentary we could delve into. Okay, Arlene, Vayomer.
Vayomer Alahem Aharon Farku Nitzmai
Needs May.
Nitzmei Hazahav Asher Ba'atznei Nishechem B'nechem Uvenotechem V'haviu Allah. Alai. Alai?
Eli, good.
Alai.
All right, you want to do 3 too, because it's
Sure,
also short.
sure. Vayitafarku Bal Ha'am
Call.
Kol Ha'am Et Nitzmei Hazahav Asher Ba'atzneihem Bayaviu El Aharon.
Okay, good. So Aaron said to them, you men, take off the golden rings. Ahav is gold, golden rings that are on the ears of your wives, your sons and your daughters, and bring them to me. So this is interesting because it says that the sons wore gold rings, but the men didn't. Because first I thought it was just women, but then I'm seeing your sons. So they had sons with golden rings in their ears. but
And they're not asking for the man's rings, but if you take it literally.
Right, that's interesting. So this is, I'm just telling you, it's not like a huge big deal, but this is Ozne. I'm trying to see if this, it's a little bit different from these, not enough. I don't know if you could see that this is a little bit longer than these, but it's not that important, but it's okay. Ozne,
they're trying to-
a nose is an ozen, ear, I mean, what did I say? Nose, ear,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oznei.
Ozne, Nishechem, B'nechem, Uvotnechem, Uhavi. Okay, bring them to me. So Aaron is participating right from the verse 2. He's definitely, can't deny that he's participating. I'm always looking for a way out for Aaron because I just don't understand this. And all the people took off the gold rings that were in their ears and brought them to Aaron. So one would think it included the men here. That's just it's just a weird construction that he's not asking them to take it off of their own ears, but here it says
think he's
all the
saying that-
people.
I think he's saying you men take it off your daughters and your son, yeah, your daughters,
Wives and,
wives and daughters. Oh, yeah, but it does say your sons too.
It does say sons, and it
Yeah,
and it does it make at least how it's translated suggests that he's not asking the men themselves to take them off, right? But
Mhm.
then it says all the people took them off. So I don't feel like I keep wasting time going back to other translations to see yeah, the entire people remove the gold rings. So I don't know. Okay. So now we're up to verse 4
Yeah.
and we're going to go to Audrey.
Okay. ויקח מידים ויצר אותו בחרת ויעשהו עגל מסע I'm looking, okay, ויאמרו אלה אלוהיך ישראל עשה
Wait, what is this one? This one?
אשר
Yeah.
אשר האלוה מארץ מצרים.
Elucha.
Lucha.
Yeah.
That's, oh, yeah. Elucha. Yeah. Okay.
mm,
Me'eretz Mitzrayim.
Okay. And let's see how long. Oh, and this is another short one. So go ahead.
Vayari Aharon
Vayar, just Vayar.
Vayar.
Yeah, maybe you can't see the dots because of the trope note here, but it's just
Oh, I just
Vayar.
saw one dot and I thought that, okay.
Yeah, it's because of the trope note. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Vayari Aharon Vayifen Mizbeach Lefanav Vayikra Aharon Vayomer Hag Ladonai Machar
Okay.
Vayomar.
Vayomar. Okay. Okay, so let's see. He took from them and cast in a mold and made it into a molten calf. Okay, Egel Masecha. And they exclaimed, this is your God, O Israel, who brought you out of the land of Egypt. So who were they talking to when they said that?
the golden calf.
People,
This
no,
is
the people who are out there on the mountain who have donated all the
this
gold.
he took, and they exclaimed. So they were like saying it to themselves. There were some people saying it to other people, but it's just interesting. They said it to them. They said, "This is your God, O Israel."
Maybe it's Aaron talking.
Although Aaron did not fashion the calf in the literal sense, he is described as its maker, since he was the one who threw the gold. The actors. I don't know.
Well,
I
maybe
find
he's
it,
talking. Maybe he's talking. This
So-
is your God.
That the golden calf is
Their God. Yeah.
their God, O Israel, and they use the word Israel. It's interesting, but I don't know. It wasn't even made yet, and it brought them out of Egypt.
Well,
No.
They
Right.
made it
From
later.
no, they made it.
They're wandering.
Of
in the
course.
desert.
You wonder where these poor people who left without taking anything have gotten their jewelry and their rings and then
Well, but
They
And
they're
later
were
on,
told
wearing
to
them.
take from
No,
the
no, no.
Egyptians. They told
and
to
then-
take things. they
Yeah, but
told
they're
them-
wearing their jewelry, it's not like they take it off at night and put it back on or whatever. They wear it.
yeah,
Okay, and the
because
next
later,
one, let's see. When
It's like
Aaron
the clothes.
saw
It's
this,
like the clothes on their back.
Mhm.
when
but
Aaron
later
saw this,
on, he asks for the women to donate all their jewelry to, Moses when he comes down again. So they must have more jewelry.
right, when they need the jewelry for the tabernacle,
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah,
right, suddenly they have all this, the
Yeah,
women,
the
right,
women.
and- right, and right. So it's let's see, does this say they took off all the gold rings? It
Well,
doesn't-
it's just their earrings. Maybe they had other jewelry.
Took off
It's
the
just their
gold rings that
earrings.
were in their ears, so maybe
Yeah,
there,
just
maybe that's,
earrings.
maybe there's significance to that, because they didn't take off the jewelry that was on their fingers or around their neck, or maybe we need to pay attention to that Oznehem that only took it from their ears. I don't know. You can analyze this stuff forever, right? Wait a minute, we were past this. We were up to, and when Aaron saw this, he built an altar, Mizbeach, before it, and Aaron announced, tomorrow should be a festival of Adonai. So, in some of the commentary, they make a big deal of this and say that he didn't say that tomorrow that they're going to celebrate the golden calf, but Aaron is talking about the real Adonai. So,
I don't know, it seems that they're mixing the two up, that they're using the golden calf to represent Adonai, but from how it's written, but who
right,
knows?
I agree. I think that's what it is.
right.
Yeah.
And then
The
there's
calf is
also,
replacing Adonai. The calf is
there's also a whole line of thought that the golden calf was replacing Moses and not God at all. The people who really want to let them completely off the hook,
Right.
say, well, they were just upset that Moses wasn't there. They wanted a replacement for Moses, and that this golden calf was a replacement for Moses, because
It
they
just-
needed an intermediary with God.
I never understand how the priests, they make Aaron's sons, Aaron's descendants of the priestly class after Aaron did this, but
Right. Well, that's why there are some who went to great lengths to
exonerate.
Exonerate.
Aaron. But anyway, we're here to read the Hebrew, not to, I mean, we're very smart and we have our opinions, but let's read a more Hebrew. Marilyn.
Yeah.
Vayashkimu mi macharat.
Do you see the difference with the vowels here? How
Mhm.
this one's bigger, so that's mimocharat. It's a tiny
Oh,
little thing
mimo.
but I might as well tell you in case you can
Yeah.
remember.
So that's a ma. Or
This one's mo.
mo. Oh, mimo mocharat. Vaya'alu olot. Vayagishu shalamim. Vayoshev.
Yeshev.
Okay. All these little, thank you.
All these
Ha'am.
stuff.
Yeah. Ha'am le'echol v'shato. Vayakmu lizachet.
Vayakumu.
Oh, those.
Early next day, the people offered up burnt offerings and brought sacrifices of well-being. They sat down to eat and drink and then rose to dance. So this is really interesting to me because we haven't gotten to the sacrifices yet at all, right? I mean, they haven't even built the tabernacle. They're so far. We don't learn about the sacrifices for quite some time, and yet they're already talking about peace offerings here, shlamim, and sacrifices of well-being.
I read somewhere in a book about Pesach that before they left Egypt, there was sacrificing of a Paschal lamb in Goshen, but I don't know how anybody knows that.
Yeah, no, I just found it interesting. They rose early the next morning and offered up elevation offerings and brought peace offerings. Okay. Oh, I just like to check it in the other book because sometimes it's completely different. Okay. Okay, Marilyn, you want to read this
Yes,
number 7 too?
Yes, thank you. Vayiber. That's right.
Vayidaber, yeah.
Thank you. Is that Adonai?
It is, yeah.
Okay, good. El Moshe Lech Raid Ku. I gather that's Ku.
Oh, it's a key. It's key. This one is just a trope note.
You know, I tell you, in the Eitz Chaim, when they give you the translation, okay, they don't put the trope in the translation. It's only in the, I guess, when you're reading the Torah, okay, at the Bima.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm so not used to seeing all these dots and
In
and
the
little,
Eitz Chaim, they don't have the trope note?
not in, no. You know what? I'm gonna get a copy. I have.
No,
I'll
of
finish
course-
this
no,
line. I'll finish
they
this line.
absolutely do. Yeah, no, they do.
Oh,
But maybe they have it printed better, so it's not
yeah,
interfering with the vowels. Yeah.
okay. So I'm sorry.
No, that's-
She hate.
So it's
Uh,
key. The vowel is the E, is the one dot here. E, key.
Ki. Ki she hate. Amcha. Asher. Leita. Me'eretz Mizrayim.
All right, so Adonai spoke to Moshe, hurry down, for your people whom you brought out of the land of Egypt have acted basely. So now, that's interesting that God is saying that Moses brought them out of the land of Egypt, because of course, usually we have God who brought them out of the land of Egypt. So we have lots of roles changing places in this parsha. Okay. Okay, Amy, we're back to you.
Okay. Saru Maher Min Haderech Asher CV
CV team.
team. That's those looks like a big mark. So is it Osu or Asu?
Asu.
Oh, Asu Lahem Egel Masecha Vayish
Yeah.
Vayish Tahavu Lo.
Like from the Elenu, Yishtachavu, right?
Right.
Vayish Tahavu Lo. Okay. Vayiz Behu Lo. Vayomru Ele Elohecha Yisrael Asher He'el Luka Me'eretz Mitzrayim.
Good. Okay, and sacrifice to it. They have been quick to turn aside from the way that I enjoined upon them. They have made themselves a golden calf and bowed low to it. This is the Yishtachavu, and sacrificed to it. They use Bechulo, saying, "This is your God, O Israel, who brought you out of the land of Egypt." Okay. Here, mean Haderech. Okay, from the way that. Okay.
Barbara, I'm looking at the Eitz Chaim. And you're right, they do have the trope, but it's more subtle. It's well below the letter or above the letter, so it doesn't interfere with the vowels.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
yeah. No, I do.
no, but you were right. They do have the trope.
Yeah, no, but you wanted to show that you're not nuts. I mean, I understand.
I know.
No, it's hard, but this is, this is from Safaria, where most people who go in here know all this by heart, and they're just, they're using it for text study and, things.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Um,
They're not
okay.
learning to read.
Yeah, right, they're not learning to. Okay, Arlene, you want to do 9 and 10?
Sure. Vayomer Adonai El Moshe Ra'iti et ha'am hazeh v'hinei am kasher oref hu
Good.
v'ata hanicha li v'yacher api bahem v'avchalam.
Achalim, va'achalim.
Ahalam. Okay. Ve'e eser ve'eser otecha lego gadol
Boy.
legoy legoy gadol.
Okay, so let's go back. I further said to Moses, I see this as a stiff-necked people. So this Kishay Oraf is, you see this a lot in the
Yeah.
high holiday.
Oh, Nij, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
And then now let me be that my anger may blaze forth against them, and that I may destroy them and make of you a great nation. Goy just means, we talked about this before. Goy just means nation, not necessarily an enemy but so if he's going to destroy all Moses' people, then how is he going to make is he going to start all over again and make of you a great nation? Isn't that odd
Mhm.
also?
Yes.
So much of this is,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Another way would be to differentiate between those who did the golden calf and those who didn't, and keep the ones who did the golden calf. I didn't do it, but
Mhm.
whatever.
But I think so many of them did, give in to making the golden calf.
3,000. In the end, it was 3,000.
Mhm.
Oh.
And again, according to this very orthodox, forgiving read of it, they were, I don't know if I can find it again easily. It was a very small percentage of the total population. I don't know how they knew the size. I don't know, but I'll find it. I guess I'll have to find it later. But it was interesting what I was reading this morning.
Question. How
Yeah.
many Jews do they say in your readings actually followed Moshe?
Yeah,
out
that's
of-
why I'm trying to
Yeah.
find that, because it actually gave a number and pointed out what a small percentage of these people were, and then it actually went a step further and said, and these really were the Jews. These were the Egyptians who, remember, there were the Egyptians who followed them into the desert, who also wanted to get out of Egypt. So they said, oh, and it really was that crowd of Egyptians who went with them. So it was quite, as I said, quite forgiving of the whole incident. I have to find it. It's not coming. It's just not here. But anyway, I'll look
But
for it.
Barbara, I'm looking at the Eitz Chaim, and
Yeah.
below the line, it
Yeah.
says, okay, the phrase "let me be." It says it seems to be a hint that God wants to be talked out of fierce anger,
Okay.
and so that's why maybe He added to make you a great nation. Maybe He's really ambivalent.
Right. Yeah. Well, he's probably also looking for any possible
Yeah,
way to explain this.
Exactly,
And yeah,
exactly. He wants to be talked out of it. That makes sense.
exactly. I hate wasting time doing this, but I wish I could find that phrase, because I was like, really? You're saying that this wasn't the Jews at all? It was just the Egyptian rabble who follow them. Anyway, I'll have to find it later. So annoying. Okay. Okay, so that I think was that Arlene who read last? Is it Audrey's
Yes,
turn?
yes.
Okay. So you read Lagoy Gadol. Okay, go
Yes.
ahead, Audrey.
ויכל משה את פני אדוני אלוהיו, ויאמר למה אדוני יחרה אף בעמך, אשר הוצאת מארץ מצרים בכוח גדול וביד חזקה.
Okay, but Moses implored his God. Where does it say his God?
ויהי
God
משה את
Elohav.
פני
Elohav is his God.
אלוהיו,
The Hav makes it
yeah,
his God.
his God.
Saying, Lama, let not your anger blaze forth against your people, whom you delivered from the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand. So a minute ago, we had God telling Moses that he brought them out, and now we have Moses telling God, you delivered them from the land. I don't know why I find this so interesting, but I do.
That doesn't seem like a Moses thing to do, to talk back to God like that.
Right, but he has done it well, yeah, right, you're right.
Yeah,
Abraham
no, he intercedes all through this desert part,
Mhm.
To have mercy on the people because they do keep doing wrong things.
Right. And Abraham, I get did similar things, but okay. Okay. So Marilyn,
Mhm.
Lama,
Lama Omru,
Yomru,
Yomru, Misraim, Lamor, Bara'ah, Otiam, Laharog, Aharig,
Laharo,
is that Rig?
Rogue.
Oh, Rogue. I said it the first time. Yeah. Otam, Beharim, Uchalotam, Meal, Pnei Ha'adama, Shuv, Mecharon, Apercha, Behinachem, Al Haaretz,
Yeah, look at this one again.
Thank you. Hara'ah, is that it?
Yeah.
Thank you. Le'amecha.
Okay, so let not the Egyptians say it was with evil intent that he delivered them, only to kill them off in the mountains and annihilate them from the face of the earth. May alpine adama earth turn from your blazing anger and renounce the plan to punish your people. Okay, yeah, Moses is good for him. Okay, Amy.
Zakor La'avraham Yitzchak Yisrael Avadecha.
Yeah, so this is, remember, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yeah, Yisrael, your servants. Yeah, your servants. Okay.
Avadecha Asher Nishbata Lachem Bach Bataber.
Batidaber.
Batidaber. Alehem Arbe et Zar Ahem Ki Hu. No, so it's pronounced when it's without the dot.
Yeah,
Bay.
good.
Hashamayim. V'kol haaretz hazot asher amarti em etain l'zar achem v'nachalo
Lou.
v'nachalo
Lou.
Lu, oh, sorry, v'achalu la'olam, la'olam.
Alone. Yeah, okay, good. So I like this one because it talks about the stars in the heavens. Okay. Remember your servants, Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, how you swore to them by yourself and said to them, I will make your offspring as numerous as the stars of the heaven, and I will give to your offspring this whole land of which I spoke to possess forever, Leolam. Okay. So this,
Question.
yeah,
I'm sorry. Why is he called Israel at this time?
instead of Yaakov, it switches off. I can't tell you for sure.
That's all right. And
Yeah.
why, and the other thing is usually it's it would be kokavim.
Right,
So
but
why is it
because it's
kikha-
combined with Shemayim, it's called a smichut or a construct noun when they put two nouns together. So stars of the heaven, or so the ending of the first the ending of the first noun changes and it gets a yud and it's connected to the second noun. It's called a smichut, and someday
Okay.
you can learn all about it. But
All right.
but you're absolutely right. That's exactly what it's normally kochavim. So you're not imagining things.
It's very
Okay.
interesting that in the Eitz Chaim, it says the reference to the patriarchs here involves the concept of as the merit of the ancestors. Our own failings are balanced in part by remembered virtues of our forebears. I think that's I think that's lovely.
Yeah. And does it say why it's Yisrael here and not Yaakov?
No, that's why I took a look.
Oh,
but I
yeah.
didn't see it. It just
There-
says patriarchs.
I mean, I've heard explanations of it, but I just don't recall, on the right this minute why, what
No
what they
problem.
think. Yeah, no, and again, it's not like we were going to get the absolute truth. It would just be whatever commentator you're reading said about it. So, but it's certainly worth taking note of. Yeah.
But it showed you that Moses is very persuasive.
Mhm.
He's very clever and persuasive. Yeah.
Right. For someone who at the very beginning said, I'm not a spokesman and I can't speak, and he's
Yeah.
obviously quite talented in that area. So,
Mhm.
okay. Okay. You think I'm out of my mind, but I can't remember who just read. So who just read that? Who just
I read it. Yeah.
Arlene?
Amy.
Yeah.
Oh, Amy. Okay, Arlene. So read 14 and
Okay.
15 because that's really short.
Okay.
Okay.
Vayinachem Adonai al hara'ah asher diber la'asot la'amo. Vayifen vayirad
Red.
vayerad red. That's hard to see. Okay. Moshe min har ushnei lechot adot
Edut.
adut
Good.
biado lohot kituvim misnei. Am I reading or is Amy
I don't know.
yeah, Misneh. Evrahem Mitzneh, sorry. Mitzay Umitzay Hem Hituvim.
Okay, good. So, and Adonai renounced the punishment planned for God's people. Okay. Thereupon Moses turned and went down from the mountain bearing the 2 tablets of the pact. So, Shnei Luchot HaEdut, inscribed, tablets inscribed on both their surfaces. They were inscribed on the one side and on the other. Okay,
Why is it called a pact?
tablets of the pact.
I
Ten
haven't heard it called
Commandments.
a pact before.
I mean, all I can do is see what, yeah, so in the other book, it says tablets of the testimony.
Yeah.
So testimony pact, I don't know, edut again, I told you last week, I think means an aid is a witness. So it's, I don't know, I could see pact. Yeah, the 2 tablets is the important thing, Shnei Luchot.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Marilyn, do you still have the 8 Chaim out? Do
Yes,
they
I-
call it a pact or a testimony?
Actually, they don't, let me see, this is 15, it says, although their size is not recorded here, their maximum dimensions, it gives you the dimensions. And let's see that's about it, yeah.
Okay.
The dimensions can be determined by the size of the ark in which they are to repose, as
Oh.
presented in 2510. So that's the only comment that is made about that
Yeah.
one.
All right. Thanks. So 16. Okay, Audrey.
Chaluchat Maase Elohim, Hema V'hamiktav, Miktav Elohim Hu Harut, Harut, yeah, Chaluchot.
Okay, and 17.
Vayishma Yehoshua et Kol Ha'am, Bereo Vayomer El Moshe Kol Milchama B'machane.
Good. Okay, so the tablets were God's work, and the writing was God's writing incised upon the tablets. So that's going to become important in a few minutes when God tells Moses to write the to inscribe the replacement pair, if you remember. Okay. When Joshua heard the sound of the people in its boisterousness, he said to Moses, there is a cry of war in the camp. So milchama is, called milchama, cry of war, and a machaneh is the camp. Ba is in the camp. Okay. 18. Okay, Marilyn.
Vayomer Ein Kol Hanot Gevura Ve'ein Kol Anot Chalusha Kol Anut Anochi. Let's see, Shomea.
Shemaiah, good. But he answered, it is not the sound of the tune of triumph or the sound of the tune of defeat. It is the sound of song that I hear. So who answered? Joshua said to Moses, so I guess this is Moses when it says he answered. I mean, if he was talking to Moses and all it says is he answered. So Moses says it's not the sound of the tune of triumph or the sound of tune of defeat. It is the sound of song. Okay, so I think this is where God says, you idiot, that's not let's see, maybe I'm wrong. I thought that God said, no, it's not that, but let's see what happens. I'm sorry.
They're
let's
talking about
stick to the-
dancing. And
Stick to the
Chaim says,
story. Okay, Amy.
Oh. Vayihi Ka'asher Karav El Hamachane Va'ar V'yar
Good.
Et Ha'egel Holot Vayihar
Uh-huh.
Af Moshe Vayashlech Miyada et Miyadav
Dav. Uh-huh.
Miyadav et Halu Chot Vayishaber Otam
Oh, Dawn, what happened? Why does that happen? Okay, go.
Tachat Hahar.
Good. So as soon as Moses came near the camp, he saw Vayar, he saw the calf and the dancing, and he became enraged, Vayichar, and he hurled the tablets from his hands and shattered them at the foot of the mountain.
It's
Okay.
interesting because he's telling God to have patience and, not get angry. And then when he comes down, he gets angry.
Yeah. Okay, so this definitely is he hurled the tablets from his hand. So I don't know why I used to think that that it was an accident that the tablets, he dropped them on his way down, but it definitely says hurled.
well, you know
let's
what, this,
see.
if I can interrupt for a second, the Eis Chaim says, instead of it that he dropped it on or threw it down on the ground, it says the letters fly off the tablets, which become two large blank stones. So they don't say that he threw it down. They just say, it says that the letters just flew off the stones, sort of like God is doing that. I mean, certainly Moses
Yeah.
can. God is doing that. Okay.
And that's
So
in the
blank,
Eis
blank tablets, not broken, but blank
Wow,
tablets.
and here oh, I have the Eitz Chaim also. Yeah, it says, this was not an impetuous act. Rather, it quite deliberately signified the abrogation of the covenant. In ancient Near Eastern legal terminology, to break the tablet means to invalidate or repudiate a document or agreement. So that's interesting. Yeah.
It seems impossible that the two translations that they must have put a lot of interpretation because you can't possibly mistake the languages. One the lettuce comes off, the he throws it down and breaks it.
It's like reading Talmud. There's 20,000
Exactly. Well,
different.
the commentary is the commentary that we're reading now is, from Talmud. But I'm just trying, Moses smashes the tablets. The passage describes poignantly the conflict facing Moses. On the one hand, he held the tablets that were incomparably sacred, that they were the physical embodiment of the word of God. On the other hand, he encountered a people that had demonstrated itself unworthy of receiving them. He resolved the contradiction by smashing the tablets in the sight of the people, a spectacle that shocked them into recognition of the enormity of their sin. So, you could, you have your pick of how you want to read this.
Well, he may have smashed them, okay, when they were blank after the letters
After
flew
the
off.
words flew
Yeah.
off, of course.
So he was not doing anything that was sacrilegious.
We can make a movie out of
I
it.
know.
Did.
They did.
They
Oh,
did.
they did. Okay, good, good. But did they show the letters flying off?
I
You know,
don't
it's-
remember.
It would be interesting
just
to watch it
remembered-
again.
I just remember the light swirling around Moses.
Mm. Yeah.
Charleston Heston.
Yeah, him too. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna show it. They always show it again at
Yep.
this time of year.
For Easter.
Yep.
Aye. Mhm.
For Easter or for Passover?
Well,
Easter.
No, but
It
I
is-
mean, isn't it? Yeah.
it
well,
is
whatever.
Passover, but they show it because of this country. It's Easter.
Yeah. But it doesn't really have anything to do with the with
No.
Jesus, with that story, does it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's you would think the story would be about the Last Supper for Christians.
But I don't think they did a movie about the Last Supper.
I know it's paintings, but
They also do Ben-Hur, don't they?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not so much as the Ten Commandments is that Sunday,
Yeah.
either in between, usually in between, or right before.
Yeah, so that's why, because of the 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. And I think it's Arlene's turn, but I'm not good at keeping track.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Vayikach et ha'agol asher
Egel.
ha'agel asher asu vayisruf
Vayisrof.
vayisruf ba'ash vayitchen ad asher dak vayitzer al pnei ha'mayim vayishka
Vayeshk.
et bnei Yisrael.
He took the calf that they had made and burned it. Ba'esh, the Vayisrof Ba'esh is burned it. He ground it into powder and strewed it upon the water, and so made the Israelites drink it.
Hey,
Va'esh is to drink.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, Audrey.
Okay,
Okay.
there. Vayomer Moshe el Aharon, me asa lecha, ha'am hazeh, ki heveta alav hata'a gilula,
Wait, look at it again.
gedula,
Gedolah. Okay. Aaron said to
Gedolah.
Moses, what
from
did this?
Gadol.
Yeah, right. Gedolah. What did this people do to you? Moses said to Aaron, what did this people do to you that you have brought such great sin upon them? Wow. So he just blames Aaron for bringing sin upon the people. That's interesting. All right, Marilyn.
Yes. Vayomer Aharon al Yachar af Hadoni ata yadita. Is that a T or a or oh yadata
Good.
et ha'am ki verahu.
Yerahu. Aaron said, let not my Lord be enraged. You know that this people is bent on evil. Bent on evil. Wow. Okay, let's read a few more. Amy, you wanna? Let's see. Okay,
Meru, Baromeru, Vayomru, Li, Ashe, Lanu, Elohim, Asher, Yelko,
Yelku.
Yelku, Lifanenu, Ki Ze Moshe Ha-ish, Asher Ha'elanu, Ha'elanu, Me'eretz Mitzrayim, Lo Yadano, Ladanu,
Uh-huh.
Haya Lo.
Good. So we're back to the very, very beginning. Remember that fellow Moses, the man who brought us out of Egypt. Okay. They said to me, make us a God to lead us. For that fellow Moses, the man who brought us from Egypt, we don't know what has happened to him. Okay. So we're back to full circle. Okay. If you want to stay and read a little bit more, we'll keep going. Arlene?
Sure. By Omar Lahem Lami Zahav Hit Paraku Vayitnu Li Viashli Hem Hehu Baash Vayat
Aish.
Baesh Vayetzi Ha'agal Hazeh.
Okay, so I said to them, whoever has gold, take it off. That wasn't exactly what he said. He told the men to take it off of their children and wives, but that's okay. They gave it to me and I hurled it into the fire and out came this calf. I love that one. Okay,
think he's
Audrey.
I think he's making excuses for himself. He's excusing himself from doing anything. After all, he just threw it into the fire and suddenly it became a calf.
Well, I often wondered about how did it get shaped into like how did it
I think he's just saying that to get him off the hook.
Back before he said that he molded it into a calf.
molded it? A molten calf. Okay.
You know what? You don't even. They're out in the middle of the desert. How did they have all the technology
I
to
don't
do this stuff? But
Oh no. All right. Well, okay. Audrey.
Vayar Moshe et ha'am ki faroach hu ki Pharaoh Aharon lishmitza b'chamehem.
Moses saw that the people were out of control since Aaron had let them get out of control, so that they were a menace to any who might oppose them. So Moses is definitely keeping Aaron, on the hook here.
Absolutely.
Oh, is this? I have to look up if that's the same letters as Pharaoh. Oh, okay. All right, Marilyn.
Vaya Amod Moshe B'Sha'ar. Is that the hay? Is that a ha or a hay?
This is a ha. Yeah.
Okay, because I couldn't see.
Yeah.
Hamacha ne. Vayomer mi liho ladonoi Ela vayasfu elav kol b'nei Levi.
Moses stood up in the gate of the camp, Sha'ar, this gate, and said, whoever is for Adonai, come here. And all the men of Levi rallied to him.
which is Aaron's family, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, he's a Levite, Moshe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Each of you put sword on thigh, go back and forth in the gate throughout and say sibling, neighbor, and can't. Okay. All right. Amy,
Vayomer Lahem Ko Amar Adonai Elohei Yisrael Simo
Mo.
Simo Ish Charbo Al Yerecho. Is it ye? Ye? What is it?
Yerecho, yeah.
Oh, Ivru Vashuvu Misha'ar La Sha'ar Bamar Chaneh Vahir Gu Ish Et Ahiv Ahiv
Yeah, and Achiv, yeah.
Ahiv Veish Et Re'ehu Veish Et Korobov. Korobov?
Kirovo.
Korobov. Okay, sorry.
So this is, he said to them, thus says Adonai, the God of Israel, each of you put sword on thigh. What does that mean? Go back and forth from gate to gate throughout the camp and slay
Ay,
sibling, neighbor, and kin. The men of Levi did as Moses had bidden, and some 3,000 of the people fell that day.
So that means that they should slay the other Levites? I don't know what they mean, or slay other people.
What do you think? I don't know. Go through the gate and slay everyone, siblings, neighbors. So it seems to me to mean it includes everyone, right?
Yeah.
Moses now, let's see. Moses referred to 22:19, which says that those who bring offerings to idols will be destroyed alternately. Moses now commanded the Levites to kill the guilty parties, regardless of who they were, even if it meant that they would have to execute close relatives. Sforno comments that this would give the rest of the people a chance to atone for their sin of apathy in having permitted the sinners to go unmolested. Now they would permit the Levites to carry out the judgment also unmolested. So that's what one book has to
Vindictive.
say anyway.
I have to go.
Yeah, I do too. I didn't want to stop in the middle of this exciting story, but
Yeah.
you can read it for yourselves anytime. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Toda
thank
rabah.
you. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
I'm not going to be
Now
here
that
next
it's all
week.
crystal clear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barbara, I'm not going to be here next week.
Okay, I'll try to remember. But
I'll
okay.
try and remember. I'll send you a note.
Yeah, that's
Okay?
okay. All right,
Have a good-
Audrey, fix
Well.
your camera. We'll have to have.
We'll
wanna see you.
try. I'll get I'm gonna go back in and see what's wrong. And
Okay.
then I'll call
Here,
my son.
Audrey.
I have
Huh?
to leave.
Yeah, I do
Bye-bye.
too. All right,
Bye.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. Bye-bye.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom.